Hello everybody and welcome back to GSPseafishing. And for anyone new watching this, please check out my other videos on the channel. I've got loads of videos. They're not all just me going on fishing trips. There's videos of hacks and bait presentation and DIY builds, so please check it out. If you like what you see, please subscribe, hit the bell, get your notifications, and you'll be notified whenever I post a video. So this is a little bit new to me at the moment. I don't usually do this, but I'm going fishing without actually knowing where I'm going. I am heading down towards Dungeness at the moment, and I'm not going to fish Dungeness, that's not where I want to go. I'm going to go east of Dungeness, Littlestone, Littlestone, Great Stone, that sort of way, and I'm just going to see what takes my fancy. I'm got a bit of a cold, a bit of a stinking cold, so I don't want to do a long session. I just want to fish one of these really shallow sandy beaches on an incoming tide and see whether I can get any bass or anything like that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down there, suss out a mark and see what takes my fancy. Before I get there, I want to make a big shout out, give a big shout out for Flipping Fish. He's got a YouTube channel and a Instagram page, and he caught a whopper of a wrasse at Samphire Hoe, and it was not just a whopper, it was really pretty wrasse as well. So well done, mate, lovely fish, congratulations. I am jealous. I'm not going to hide that, but hopefully today I'll get a £10 bass, so it'll be good. Anyway, well done, mate, nice catch. I'm going to go and suss out some marks to fish, hopefully get fishing if this rain eases up. Right, I have ended up, basically because it's free parking, at Littlestone. Now, don't really know this area, and as you've just seen, there's mud along here, and the first bit of ground that I tried walking out on, I went straight into the mud. So what I'm going to do is I'm walking east towards Dymchurch, and basically the sea comes, there's a bit more depth, it's a bit more closer to the shoreline, to the foreshore, and hopefully by the time I get there, if it is muddy still along there, I will be able to wait it out until the sea's in. So I'm just going to take a walk. There's a nice few worm casts showing, soft mud. There's got to be things coming in feeding on that. Never fished here before. So let's find somewhere that tickles my fancy. Although that structure out there really did. But it's all mud and I can't get to it. I'm not going to risk my life, or at least risk distress by just trying to catch some fish and get stuck in mud. It's not worth it. I'm going to find somewhere it's a lot safer, firmer, and then I'm going to set up my gear. So I've walked along to here, and I really like this sandbank that's in front of me, because once the water races up and gets to the top of this sandbank, this area here, along here, is a nice 2 foot, sort of 18 inches, 2 foot of water running all the way along there, and the bass are going to be, well, if they're in, will run along this, going around these groins in this deeper water. I am liking the look of this. I'm going to take a little bit of a stroll because I've got a little bit of time, and I'll pick the ideal spot to intercept any fish that comes in my way. So the great thing about waiting for the tide to come in is the fact that it allows me to spend a little bit of time sorting out my rig wallet, which is a bit of a mess. But I'm going to sort this out now and work out what rigs I am going to put on my rods. Right, let's get this first rig clipped on to the first rod. Get a lead weight on that. Right, here we are. On this rig I've got a pennel hook set up, so basically a sliding hook here and the fixed hook at the bottom of the hook snood. Now what I'm going to do, I've pulled that hook straight through the bait at the top here. I'm then going to come through the body of the squid here, trying to hold it all together basically. If I was just to go through the head there and out the other side, this whole head and body will come apart. So what I'm going to try and do is go through the body there, come down through the centre of the head and out through where the mouth part is on the squid, there at the bottom, like so. We pull that line tight and then I'm going to bait elastic that all together nice and tight and compact, and we'll try and hide that hook by folding the squid over. So there we go. I'm taking my time, get this nicely on that hook, just getting it evenly wrapped because I want really neat bait presentation. And if you just do it all mucky, you'll get bulges and it'll kink. And then what I'm going to do is offer this hook up. I want it about there, so I'm going to come straight through this side, out the other side, pull the line tight like so, and then I'm going to carry on wrapping, tucking it underneath there. Again, trying to do it evenly, trying to do it so that the squid hides as much as the hook as I can, and trying to keep it straight. Happy with that? So once that sea gets in close, that's going to go in the gully. Nice squid bait on a pennel rig, and I'll show you this setup in a second. So basically both of my rods are going to go for bass, but one's going all out for a big bass with a squid, or a bigger bass. The other one just giving me options. Need to get a lead weight on here, but what I've got is a long range rig here. I'm going to slide 2 worms on. Like so. And then on that I'm going to put a squid head on the bottom. Right, well, I am set up. I've got 2 rods there in the tripod, as you can see, all baited up, ready to go. The sea is not far away. It's coming in now. It's coming in quite quick. So I have set up both rods to target the same species. I'm going for bass. This looks very bassy here, so that is what I'm going to do. One of these is going for big bass all out, and the other one is going for smaller bass, any bass that are around. So as you can see, my normal setup, I've got the Sonic Gravity HT on the left and I've got the Vega Potenza on the right. Now these are both continental style rods, and when they come down to the business end, that's where it changes. On the Vega, which is the lighter of the two, I have got a long range rig. As you can see there, it's clipped down, ready to go. You can see it's clipped, it's got a SRT spring on that. And when we come down to the business end there, I've got 2 worms and a squid head. So 2 lugworm, squid head, and a 150 gripper on that rod, and that's going to be going for the smaller bass. Smaller bass tend to take the worm a lot easier. I like a squid head. I just find, for me, just always works out better with the squid head. I tend to get a few more bites. And then on the Sonic, we have got a pulley dropper rig, and there it is clipped up, and you can see the bent rig clip there holding it up. And then down the bottom there, I've got a whole squid on a pennel hook setup, and you've seen me bait that up, and I'm putting that on a pyramid lead, and hopefully once the sea's in, the first cast for this may go out there about 40 yards, but then after that they're going to be going in this gully here. This one will be hitting a bit further and trying to pick up the bass as they come in on the tide. So it won't be long and I'll be casting these out. Right, well, I can't quite get to the water's edge, but I can get a bait into it for the tide as it's flooding. I want to intercept these bass as they come in, so I'm going out here. I've just tested the ground. I want to get this bait in very early. It's going to be very shallow, this, but it's going to be out there. We'll intercept the bass. Let's see where I can get to. About there, I think. Let's get this out. There we go. Let's intercept these bass. So the first one is out. It's not in enough depth at the moment to catch fish, but it's there waiting to ambush any that come in. The second one's going to go out in a minute. I'm literally going to drop it in at the water's edge and wait for it to flood over. But I don't want it to be exposed because the seagulls will grab it. So I am just waiting for this to flood, next couple of minutes, and then I will be plonking it in very close, right, sort of there. So let's see. Just changed over to a gripper lead because there is a fair bit of wind out there, and it's just going to pull a pyramid lead around. Oh, can't get my words out today. And all I'm going to do with this is I'm going to play a waiting game. I've unclipped it. And basically plonked him in there. So he's literally plonked in front of me. And I'm going to wait this out another 15 minutes or so, hoping the bass will be in. This looks so good for bass, come on. I'm hoping on the first rod that went out, I'm hoping something hits that soon. Oh, was that a knock then actually, just as I said that? Possibly. Right, we've just had a knock on the squid. We've just had a knock on the squid. I was sitting there, not doing a lot, minding my own business, but there was definitely a knock on that squid. Come on. Right, whilst I'm watching that squid rod, I'm going to bring this other one in. It's a long way out there now. And get him in a bit closer. Come on. Has he sunk in the mud? I think, possibly. See if I can pull him out. There he comes. Come on out, mud. The worm again this week. Well, it's from Bill's bait and tackle. Really good worm. See if I've got another small one to get on there. Get a little small one. That one. Go. Nice bit of worm on there. Squid had seen better days. It's been nipped about a bit, but it's going back on. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Well, I've got a bite on the smaller rod, but it's not bass. There's something stripping it off the bait. Go on. Something stripping it off the hook. I'm wondering whether whiting have come in on this tide. So I might change my rig in a minute. Let's see. But there's a bite there. Right, so I'm changing this rig from a long range rig to a loop rig with size 4 Aberdeens on it. I'm going to put some small worms on, just see what these bites are. Got a funny feeling they might be whiting, and small ones at that. Right, there we go. Let's get this out. I'm just going to, I'm not clipping that up. Just going to do an overhead 40-yard cast, see what it's about. As long as I'm onto the sand, I'm alright. That'll do. See what's out there. Right, let's check the squid, see what this is like. There really is not a lot happening. Well, the head's been taken off. That is about it. That would have easily caught me fish. There we go. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Well, this may be the last cast. I've been here 3 hours. Don't feel too good. And there's just no fish. Let's get this out there. Only doing light overhead lobs. Something again is rattling that squid rod for the second time, but I'm wondering whether it's really tiny scaldy bass. Because if there was white in here, I would have got them on the other rig on the worm. Oh, I think I might have a fish that may have saved my blank, because I'm not feeling too good. I was thinking about going then, and something's just hit the tiny bit of worm on the loop rig, and it's up on the surface. So what is it? Come up. Don't want to lose this. It's not massive, but there's a fish. Is it a whiting? Has it saved my bacon? Oh, what is it? What is it? Is it a whiting? Oh, well, they all count. It is the smallest of smoothhounds. There we go. Tiny little smoothhound pup. Look at that. How sweet is that? Oh, look at him. Beautiful. Right, let's get him back. Right, this squid has had a couple of knocks. Now let's bring it in. There's nothing on it. Is there any bait on it? There's bait, the head's gone. Something smashed the head, nothing big. I mean, I have saved a blank. I feel a bit rubbish, and I think I might call that a day. Right, well, that is me done. A combination of lack of fish, my cold, and the weather starting to rain now. I'm going to call it a day. I saved a blank with a minuscule smoothhound pup. So happy that I saved the blank. I was expecting a bit more. I was expecting some bass, even schoolies, but didn't get anything. So I'm going to go home now, wash all my gear down because it's all covered in sand, and that's one of the downsides of fishing on a sandy beach. So I'll wash everything off.